He sold his soul for a shot at fame. Catchphrase and wig and the jokes are lame. He's got no style, he's got no grace. He's banal and facile, he's a flat waste of space. See his pop, no space. Pop, 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 again. See his pop, no space. Yeah, pop, 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 again.
Now, you might not recognise that particular ditty.
I don't, actually.
But that's David Bowie's last TV appearance with Ricky Gervais, which was a kind of a spoof song where he was making fun of Ricky Gervais. Very funny.
Was that in Extras?
It was.
Was it? Yeah. In that,
which I only just saw, funny enough, the other day.
Oh, really?
Because I hadn't seen it when it happened at the time.
Yeah. You know the first song he ever made, The Laughing Gnome?
Yeah.
I thought he made that halfway through his career, because when I was at the University of the Trent, our local pub down the road, the 19th and 21st Lancers in Harlaxton Drive, just off Harlaxton Drive, in Lenton, in Nottingham.
You need to be that specific?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, because I used to work there as well as a barman. That was one of those popular songs on the jukebox. But you see, that was in 1972. And I thought, oh, this must be something. In fact, he made it in 1968. It never got anywhere, and then it got revived when he became famous.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of information you've just given me.
Yes, okay.
Let's hope that question doesn't come up.
Exactly.
Because you might have jinxed it.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, as ever, we have put together a quiz here for you.
Yes.
Thanks to the independent quizmasters.
Yes.
If you get one correct, you will hear this sound.
You don't think a young girl could ever like a repulsive little scab like you?
If I get one right?
That's if you get one right.
Well, so I'm going to be insulted and vilified if I get one right.
Well, let's see what you hear when you get one wrong.
Oh, come, Hogbrain.
Yes.
Any idea what that's from?
That'll be from one of his films.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. What's-a-Namer.
Mr. What's-a-Namer?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But we won't go there just in case it comes up in the quiz.
Okay.
We've already given away too much information already.
Right, okay.
Question number 1.
Yes.
Which album contained the song V2 Schneider?
Well, that will be one he made in Berlin. That's the reference to the German word. And I reckon the one he made in Berlin could have been Aladdin Sane.
Incorrect.
No.
You were on the right track, but it was Heroes.
Heroes.
Question number 2.
Yeah.
Can you name this tune?
She'll come, she'll go, she'll lay bleak on you. Skin sweet with musky oil, the lady from another grinning soul.
In a word, no. I've never heard that tune before.
No, it's one of my favourites, actually.
Really? What's it called?
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
I've told you I don't know the name of it.
So that's your answer, you don't know?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to concede.
OK, Lady Grinning Soul. That's from Aladdin Sane.
Hogbrain.
Lady Grinning Soul.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. Question number 3.
Right.
Who directed The Man Who Fell to Earth?
Directed it? The Man Who Fell to Earth. So that was a proper film director, was it?
Well, some would call him that, yeah.
Oh, some would call him that. I reckon that was The Man Who Fell to Earth. I think that could have been the guy who did the Michael Jackson videos, John Landis.
Incorrect.
No.
Oh, come, Hogbrain.
It's Nicholas Rogue.
Well, who's Nicholas Rogue?
He's a very famous film
How on earth
director.
am I supposed to know that?
Well, you're supposed to know about David Bowie.
What great films did Nicholas Rogue make?
He hasn't made that many. He hasn't made that many films.
No,
has
that's
he?
right. That's why nobody's ever heard of him.
No, David Bowie hasn't made that many films.
No, he hasn't, no.
I think you might have done a bit more research on that one.
I'm not having this. We want it to be a civilised quiz
It is
because it's in
civilised.
dedication to the memory
Yeah.
of David Bowie, and I don't want you gerrymandering it
Okay, well, I don't think
as
you
an
can accuse
insult
me of
to his
that.
memory.
Nothing to do with me, these questions. Question number 4. 0 out of 3 so far. What was the name of the guitarist from Hull who played on Bowie's early albums?
What?
What was the name of the guitarist from Hull who played on Bowie's early albums?
Now, right, thinking aloud here,
Yeah.
I was tempted immediately to say Eno, right, but it's not Eno. Thinking aloud. I think it might have been, if the guy was pictured next to him on stage, Mick Ronson.
Correct.
Hooray! Woo, woo,
You don't
woo,
think
woo,
a young girl could ever like a repulsive
I'm glad you're going to keep
little
this
scab
nice and
like
dignified
Absolutely.
in honour of Mr. David
Absolutely,
Bowie.
yeah.
Question number 5.
Yes.
What is the name of Bowie's son with Angie?
His birth name, when he was born, he was called Zoe Bowie. but in fact, his name is Duncan.
Duncan what?
What do you mean?
Well, I want his name. You don't call somebody just Duncan, do you?
Eh?
You don't just call somebody Duncan.
Well, that's his Christian name, Duncan.
Yeah, well, what's his name? Duncan what?
Well, David Bowie used to be David Jones, but changed it because of the Monkey lead singer,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming that Duncan is Duncan Jones.
Correct.
You don't
Hooray!
think a young girl could ever like a repulsive little scab like you?
Try and stay dignified. It's 2 out of 5.
That's brilliant.
Question number 6.
Yes.
Have a listen to this song.
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth.
Yes.
I want you to sing the next line, or say the next line.
What?
Can you not say the next line of the song? A very famous song.
Can I hear that again,
You
please?
can hear it again.
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth.
It's such a small snippet of the song that I reckon the next line was, but the world has blown up. Everything is going south. What's your problem? What?
Let's hear the answer, shall we?
Yes.
Time takes a cigarette, puts it in your mouth. You pull on your finger, then another finger, then a cigarette.
Well, that doesn't rhyme.
What do you mean it doesn't rhyme?
It didn't rhyme.
It's Rock and Roll Suicide. It's one of his most famous ever songs.
It's not. It's not one of his most famous ever songs. His
It
most
is.
famous ever songs were, Major Tom, Life on Mars, Rebel Rebel, and Gene Genie. They're his most famous. And John, I'm Only Dancing.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Heroes.
All right.
That wasn't his most
You said
famous.
Heroes twice. Question number 7. Who was Bowie's neighbour in the 80s when he lived in Switzerland?
When he lived in Switzerland. So Bowie lived in Switzerland, and he had a neighbour.
Yeah.
Bet that was a big house. And
I bet it
his
was.
neighbour lived. Might have been a neighbour, but it was about 3 miles away. So his neighbour in Switzerland. In what decade?
In the 80s.
In the 80s?
Yeah.
Right. I reckon it was. I think I've got this. I think it was the racing driver Jackie Stewart.
Incorrect.
No,
Come, old brain.
It was Rick Wakeman.
Rick Wakeman. Well,
Right.
Rick Wakeman's off his face most of the time, so he would probably didn't know he lived next door to David Bowie.
Very harsh. Question number 8.
yes.
Which Beatles song did Bowie record for the album Young Americans in 1974?
Young Americans, we are the young Americans. All right. A Beatles song.
Yeah.
He recorded a Beatles song.
You are a Beatles expert, of course.
Yeah,
aren't
I am, yeah. Oh, blimey.
I have to
Beatles song,
hurry you.
Beatles song. Yeah, okay. I think it was, let me think, Bowie's voice, and it was Strawberry Fields Forever.
you? Incorrect.
No.
It was this.
Golly, I didn't know that. That's one of my favourite Lennon tracks.
You didn't know that Bowie recorded
No, I
it?
didn't know.
Incredible.
No. Yeah.
Question number 9.
Yes.
When did Bowie release The Laughing Gnome as a single?
Oh. No, I said earlier when I was giving you the story about the jukebox, I said 68. I think it was 67. 1967.
Correct.
Hooray! Woo, woo, woo,
You don't
woo,
think a
woo.
young
I won't
girl
ask
could
you
ever like
to give me the exact
repulsive
date. It was
little
April the
scab
14th,
like you?
1967. And finally, question
Yes.
number 10.
Yes.
And if you get this right, you will get my prediction, which was 4 out of 10.
Right.
What is the name of Bowie's last album released on his 69th birthday?
I'm in heaven.
That's called Black Star.
Correct.
Hooray! Woo, 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 woo.
See, I'm starting to get good at this.
Wowee, that was superb, that.
Well, it wasn't
Wowee.
what I would call superb. It was
I think
4
it
out
was.
of 10.
Yeah, but I got the questions right, which were real questions, and the questions which weren't real questions, I had no chance with.
Well, for most Bowie fans, I think they would have done much better than 4 out of 10.
In my head, I got about 4 out of 6 there, because there are only 6 sort of relevant questions as far as I'm concerned.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But I
Well,
did
I mean-
well. I think it was great. I was worried that I would disappoint the memory of David Bowie, but I didn't.